Hey folks, just wanted to go over how we go about sublimating images onto ceramic tiles. So here's one of the tiles that we're going to be doing today. Just a little decorative one. This actually came off of a larger piece of a mesh of a sheet of these things. But we're just doing this for a demonstration to show how we go about applying a laminate coating to this so sublimation will actually stick, and then the image and what that looks like. So first, I want to show you, we've already cut a little piece of laminate here. It's a little clear piece of plastic. It's got a rough side on one side and a real smooth side on the other. You want to make sure that rough side goes against the ceramic. It helps that stick to it really good. Plus it gives you a nice smooth finish on the outside. And you'll see here that I've cut it just a little bit larger than the actual tile. And that's because this is actually going to shrink, and you want to make sure it's going to get full coverage of that image and you're not going to get white spots around the outer edge. So it's a little bit larger than the piece of tile that I'm using. So what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be heating this up tile side towards the platen, and that way this is absorbing all the heat, and then the heat from this is actually what's going to melt the laminate to the tile. And then we're going to let this cool completely before we go to the next step. So I'm going to go ahead and heat this up to 400 degrees for about 90 seconds. And then I'm going to come back and show you what that looks like. There should be a little bit of bubbling and things like that on here. And also something else to note, I'm doing this against a press pillow, or one of these press pads. You could probably use a silicone pad, something that's a little soft, but the reason you're going to want to do that is these tiles are not going to be perfectly flat. There's a lot of issues in here, a lot of undulations. They're not real flat, is what I'm getting at. So you're going to want to make sure that you post-process these. And also this laminate, this is actually, these are actually these thermal, what are they called? Nuova thermal laminating pouches. The same stuff you'd use just to laminate some pages for whatever, just legal documents, whatever you want to keep long term. But we cut those up to use for laminating these tiles instead. So I'm going to go ahead and cut away. We're going to press this onto here, and I'll show you what that looks like. Then I'll show you what a little bit of post-processing looks like before we put this image onto this tile. Because there's going to be some bubbles and things like that in, and you don't really want that showing up on your finished product. So we'll be right back. Okay, so about to be time here. 90 seconds is about up. There we go. All right, and let's remove this piece of paper here. And you'll see now that there we go, just pressing the edges all around like so. And I'm using heat-proof gloves here just so you guys can see. Do not just grab one of these things. This hot tile is incredibly hot right now. Now, the reason I do this is this really gives it a nice finished look around these edges. Now it's all completely around here. If you don't get it that close, it's okay. Just take a razor blade and shave it off near the edges. You'll get just as clean of a look. Now you'll also see here, and this is a really good one, I've got a huge bubble. You can see it right there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to poke that bubble with this poker here, and then I'm going to take this squeegee here, just push that right down like so. You'll see it is almost completely gone. Still got a little bit of one there. Let's get that one gone. So, all right, ta-da, that worked out really good. All right, so the next phase of this is we're going to be heating it again the same way we did, face down, but this time we're going to be doing it on top of a small image. It's just a little swirly psychedelic image I found on the internet, so just for this demonstration. So we're going to be doing it just like so, except this time, instead of 90 seconds, we're going to be going for 4.5 minutes. Seems like a long time, but the results are excellent. Now, so the next thing you're also going to want to remember as you're pulling this off, pull it off very cleanly. You want to pull it off in one full motion. And also, as you do that, right afterwards, roll these corners one more time. So you can see they're kind of still sticking up just a little bit. You're going to want to make sure you press those all the way down when you get those back off. Another good tip that I can give, you may want to let these tiles cool completely in between these processes. You don't want to be overheating these tiles. You will wind up burning whatever you're trying to press this onto. You'll wind up scorching the laminate. The laminate will peel or bubble more. You have a chance of actually fracturing the tile. So be careful of all those things. So we're going to go ahead and get this ready for the next press. Again, we're going to be doing this on a press pillow, face down onto the image, and we'll be pulling that off here in about 4.5 minutes. See you guys then.
Now.
All right, about to count down here. All right, 4.5 minutes are up. I'm just going to carefully swing this across because we want to try and avoid any ghosting that may have occurred here. And you'll see here that there are some remnants of the ink on that side. All right, now I'm going to try and pull this real clean so we don't get any ghosting of the image here. And I nailed it. So there we are. So now we're just going to push this down. There we go, nice and clean. And this thing is super hot. So now is your chance to finish pushing down all the extra little pieces of laminate. You can see what I'm doing here, just going around the edge, just kind of tapping it down, just rolling it like so. And you can see we got a good wrap all around the edge of that now. Looks like that thing was painted on because of that. So really try and get that around there a little bit if you can. And you'll get a really good, nice, finished, glossy image just like that.